In the contemporary world, different issues of human rights concerns are witnessed every day. It is perhaps against this backdrop, the questions of human rights and the necessity of human rights education appear more relevant and assume greater importance for installing peace and harmony. So, it is not wrong to say that only the remedies to check human rights violation is the right to education. The World Conference on Human Rights has urged the NGOs to intensify their efforts in cooperating and coordinating their activities against the human rights violations. Now, the people in general no longer leave their problems to government alone to see the violence and the injustice, but they also depend on the NGOs. Thus, NGOs share the responsibility of greater accountability for their own and for their future generations. Initiative for Human Rights Education. In order to trace the genesis of the human rights education, we can refer to initiatives of human rights defenders and its subsequent impact. For global mobilization to educate individuals and the groups about human rights so that inappropriate conduct leading to denial of human rights will be changed. Subsequently, the UN World Conference of Human Rights 1993 in Vienna drafted a declaration inspiring the UN Decade of Human Rights, Article 26, Clause 2 states, education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and freedom. Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Organization, Article 13 reads as, education is both human rights in itself and the indispensable means of realizing other human rights. Human rights education in India. Human rights education is found to be ingrained in our Indian civilization, which adumbrated the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. By considering the significance of imparting human rights education in India, University Grants Commission set up a committee in 1980 under the chairmanship of Justice S.M. Sikri to consider different ways and means for promoting human rights education in India. The committee suggested various approaches at different levels of education, that human rights values may be included in the stories, poems, biographies and similar other literatures at the school and +2 level. but emphasis should be on inculcating human rights values to build a positive attitude and values. Human rights teaching should not remain confined to the open curriculum of the school. They must also find reflection in the hidden curriculum. This can be ensured by providing a democratic environment, enabling children to enjoy their rights and simultaneously learn to respect the rights of were also reviewed to insert the human rights chapters through National Council of Educational Research and Training in India. During 9th Plant, the University Grants Commission prepared the approach paper in 1998 and suggested teaching of human rights at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Eventually, human rights education as a separate course or discipline started in different colleges and universities in India. Necessity for human rights education. The first sentence foundation of freedom, peace and justice in the world. All governments have a duty to teach human rights and to provide a learning experience and environment where human rights are respected and acknowledged. Amnesty International has endorsed strategy for human rights education. UN Special Rapporteur on Right to Education has stated that human rights education is an integral part to the right to education. Promotion of rights-based approach enables the education system to ensure full development of human personality, sense of dignity, strength and respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. Human rights NGOs are non-profitable private organizations and they are devoted to the promotion and the protection of human rights. Human rights NGOs are different from other NGOs in the sense that they are directly concerned to the matter of human rights violation as well as to promote the rights of all members of the society. They have played and continue to play a considerable role for protection of human rights. Article 71 of the provides NGOs are willing to take risks in areas which governments and intergovernmental organizations consider too politically sensitive. They have, by their very nature, a freedom of expression, a flexibility of action, and a liberty of movement which enable them to complement the role of the United Nations in the promotion and protection of human rights. A number of human rights NGOs have come into existence for the cause of human rights. International human rights NGOs have worldwide membership and encompass all the territory of the globe. For instance, Amnesty International, International League for Human Rights, Human Rights Watch. Many human rights NGOs have consultative status of one form or another with the United Nations bodies. This status permits their representatives to present report and to be heard by their committees in certain cases. NGOs have been playing significant role for human rights advocacy, representing and protecting victims and encouraging human rights education. They have also influenced in the making of international setting for the protection of human rights, including the drafting of United Nations Charter, optional protocol, and other covenants. The role of the NGOs in furthering human rights is given appropriate and special recognition in various UN bodies so as to encourage the efforts to fight for human rights. Some specific areas in which NGOs are well versed and have expertise to initiate for human rights in different UN bodies and concerned authorities. Because of their grassroots context, they can effectively identify human rights violations, articulate them, and seek redressal. The assistance and the cooperation of NGOs can be of great value in the investigation of more serious cases. NGOs provide information to UN experts who monitor human rights and generally try to influence the decisions of different UN bodies. Mention may be made of Special Rapporteur S. Amos Wako, who said that NGOs are the source of most of the information and allegations concerning arbitrary and illegal executions received by the Special Rapporteur. As a matter of fact, the development of international norms, institutions, and procedure for the promotion of human rights has gone hand in hand with the proliferation of international NGOs working in the field of human rights. The World Conference of Vienna, Austria, 1993 has also recognized the significant role of the NGOs, which is proved by its resolution number 38. The World Conference on Human Rights appreciated their contribution to increasing awareness of human rights issues, to the conduct of education, training, and research in this field. Now, the people in general no longer leave their problems to government alone to see the violence and injustice, but depend on the NGOs. Human rights education is essential for their socio-economic and political empowerment. In India, there are now a large number of NGOs which have been not only trying to protect human rights but also disseminate human rights literacy. Some of the very prominent NGOs in India are People's Union for Democratic Rights, etc. In different states of India, there are now a number of human rights organizations which continuously monitor and create awareness about human rights. To educate and promote human rights in Northeast India, some of the NGOs that have been taking initiative for human rights in Northeast India are in true sense, commission and laws are not enough for proper protection of human rights. The need of the hour is to disseminate human rights awareness to all the citizens through various ways and means. Citizens should become law-abiding. None should get exemption on any ground like in the favor of political, communal or money power. From the lowest grassroots levels, education should encompass human rights as basic ingredient of the course in appropriate way. This will necessarily develop a society, state and a world order dedicated to peace, progress and prosperity with mutual cooperation. NGOs should try to promote and protect human rights, to respect the human dignity and gender equality. Human rights can be protected only when all the people are aware about their rights. However, people can only have their knowledge of human rights through formal or non-formal education. Thank you.